Hey there, Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to Dallas Cowboys Fan, your ultimate destination for everything related to America's team. Whether you're a die-hard, blue and silver bleeding fan or you're just now catching that Cowboys fever, this is the place to be. And if you're already a dedicated supporter of the Cowboys, or even if you're just tuning in to the most exciting football team in the NFL, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This channel is your one-stop shop for all the latest news and updates on your favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Cowboys Nation, the offseason has been full of drama, excitement, and more questions than answers, and as we inch closer to the draft, one name is making waves in a major way: Shedeur Sanders. Yes, you heard that right, Shedeur Sanders, quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes, and the son of NFL Hall of Famer Deion "Primetime" Sanders, is suddenly in the conversation for the Cowboys' future quarterback. And here's the kicker: some are even speculating that he could be the potential successor to Dak Prescott, one of the most iconic figures in the franchise today. Could Jerry Jones actually make the bold move to draft Shedeur Sanders? And is it time for a fresh face under center for Dallas? Could we be on the verge of witnessing one of the most intriguing family reunions in NFL history, with Shedeur Sanders joining the Cowboys and, in the process, reconnecting with his father, Deion, who has a deep and historic connection to the Dallas Cowboys organization? It's a story filled with speculation, excitement, and the kind of what-ifs that make the NFL offseason one of the most entertaining times of the year. And today, we're diving deep into every angle of this tantalizing possibility. So let's start by taking a look at the current state of affairs in Dallas. The Cowboys, as we all know, are coming off yet another disappointing playoff exit. A season that once again saw high hopes crushed in the postseason. It's a storyline that has become all too familiar in the Dak Prescott era, a quarterback that's consistently brought the Cowboys to the playoffs, but who hasn't been able to push the team over the hump when it matters most. Prescott has had a great career. No one can deny that. He's led the Cowboys to multiple playoff appearances, and on top of that, he's been a reliable leader both on and off the field. But with Dak's contract situation now becoming a major talking point and questions swirling around his future, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office are facing some tough decisions. What will they do with Dak Prescott, who's set to become a free agent after the 2024 season? And with his hefty salary cap hit, might Dallas look for a more affordable, younger quarterback to take the reins? Enter Shedeur Sanders. The son of Primetime has quickly become one of college football's top quarterback prospects. After an impressive run at Jackson State, and now at Colorado under his father's tutelage, Shedeur has caught the attention of football fans everywhere. His arm strength, poise, and leadership abilities have made him an intriguing prospect for any NFL team looking to lock in their future under center. Not to mention, he has the NFL bloodline that makes him a tantalizing option for a team looking to rebuild or reload at the quarterback position. Could Jerry Jones be eyeing this potential star, seeing Shedeur as the man to lead the Cowboys back to the promised land? What makes this situation even more captivating is the relationship Shedeur has with his father, Deion Sanders, one of the most iconic players to ever step foot on an NFL field. Deion, aka Primetime, played 5 seasons with the Cowboys, leading them to a Super Bowl title and cementing himself as one of the most electrifying figures in the history of the sport. Even today, Deion remains a beloved figure in Dallas, with a strong relationship with Jerry Jones. It's clear that this connection could have a major impact on the potential decision to draft Shedeur. If Shedeur were to join the Cowboys, it wouldn't just be about getting a new quarterback. It would be about continuing the legacy of a Cowboys legend, the man who helped put the Cowboys back on top in the 90s. Now, let's talk about the draft itself. Shedeur Sanders is currently projected to be a first-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, but he's not necessarily the top quarterback in the class. That title still belongs to other highly touted prospects like Caleb Williams and Drake May. However, make no mistake, Shedeur is undoubtedly one of the best quarterbacks coming out of college, and that's what makes this whole scenario so interesting. Dallas could very well have a shot at him if they find themselves with a high draft pick, especially if they struggle in the upcoming season. Even if the Cowboys don't end up picking in the top spots, remember, Jerry Jones has never been one to shy away from making bold moves. If he believes in a player, he won't hesitate to trade up in the draft. And if Shedeur Sanders is sitting there in the mid to late first round, don't be surprised if Jerry pulls the trigger and makes a big splash on draft day. Plus, let's not overlook the marketability factor. Shedeur's name, his NFL bloodline, and his already rising star power could be a huge draw for the Cowboys both on the field and off it. Jerry loves a player who can bring attention and excitement, and Shedeur would do just that. But with all of this talk about Shedeur, the burning question still remains: is Shedeur actually an upgrade over Dak Prescott? That's the million-dollar question. Dak has certainly faced his fair share of criticism over the years, especially after multiple playoff disappointments. But let's not forget, despite the criticism, Dak has been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league. He's a Pro Bowler, a leader, and has garnered the respect of his teammates and coaching staff. He's been the steady hand guiding the Cowboys for years. But can Dallas really reach the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl with Dak? Or has the team hit a ceiling with him at the helm? In today's NFL, teams that win Super Bowls often do so with dynamic, next-gen quarterbacks who can make off-schedule throws, perform in clutch moments, and bring an extra level of athleticism to the table. Shedeur Sanders has already shown flashes of that ability in college. He has the arm strength, the accuracy, and the poise to perform at a high level in the NFL. Playing behind a struggling offensive line at Colorado, Shedeur has had to develop quick decision-making skills, which would undoubtedly help him transition into the NFL. Combine that with the coaching he's received from his father, and it's easy to see why Shedeur is so highly regarded by scouts. Now, if Shedeur were to land in Dallas, he would benefit from playing with some of the most elite offensive weapons in the NFL today. With CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver, a strong running game, and a defense that can take pressure off any quarterback, the opportunity to thrive in Dallas would be there for the taking. But, of course, there are risks involved in this decision. If Dallas were to draft Shedeur Sanders, it would mean moving on from Dak Prescott, a player who has given the Cowboys stability at the quarterback position for years. It would also mean putting a massive amount of pressure on a young quarterback with the weight of expectations. Imagine being a 22-year-old quarterback with the last name Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, and playing for the Dallas Cowboys. The pressure would be immense. Expectations would be sky high, and anything short of instant success would likely result in a ton of criticism. And there's another layer to this. If Deion were to be involved in any capacity, whether formally or informally, it could create an intriguing dynamic in the organization. Would Shedeur be treated differently? Would he receive more leeway, knowing his father's ties to the Cowboys and Jerry Jones? These are questions that would certainly have to be considered by the front office and coaching staff. But there's another factor at play here. Would Shedeur Sanders even want to play for the Cowboys? It's easy to assume that he'd jump at the chance to play for the same franchise where his father made a name for himself, but we can't forget that Deion has been very vocal about his son's future. Deion has made it clear that Shedeur will only play for a team that truly values him and is willing to commit to building around him. If Dallas isn't ready to fully embrace Shedeur and build the team around him, then it's possible the Cowboys might not even be on his radar when draft day comes. The NFL draft process is notoriously unpredictable, and there's always the chance that Shedeur Sanders could end up in a situation where he can develop without the overwhelming pressure of playing for a franchise as big as the Cowboys. It's a fascinating scenario to think about, and one that could have massive implications for the entire league. So, what does this all mean for the Cowboys and their fans? Well, If Jerry Jones makes the decision to draft Shedeur Sanders, it could send a huge message to the entire team. The players would feel the energy in the locker room, knowing that the front office is willing to make bold moves to push this team to the next level. That kind of morale boost could be exactly what the Cowboys need to take the next step in their quest for a Super Bowl. And let's not forget, Cowboys fans, this could be your time to celebrate. You've been waiting patiently for this team to make a major move, and a potential move like this would be a massive shot in the arm for the franchise. If Jerry Jones goes all in on Shedeur Sanders, it's proof that the Cowboys are committed to building a championship team and are willing to make the necessary moves to get there. There's also the financial side of things to consider. If the Cowboys do move on from Dak Prescott, they'll need to figure out how to allocate the resources they save from his massive contract. Could they use that money to improve the offensive line or bolster the defense? These are all the questions Jerry Jones will need to weigh as he looks at the potential future of the Cowboys. In the end, though, the true answer to whether Shedeur Sanders will be the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys won't come until we see how the 2024 season plays out. If Dak Prescott leads the Cowboys to an NFC championship or beyond, it's hard to imagine the Cowboys moving on from him. But if Dallas faces another early playoff exit, and with Shedeur sitting there in the draft, the noise for a change at quarterback will only grow louder. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders the future of the Dallas Cowboys? Should Jerry Jones take a chance on this young quarterback and set the Cowboys up for the next era of greatness? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, stay tuned to Dallas Cowboys Fan for all the latest news and updates on America's team.